Seems like there's a very fairly even spread of champion mastery. Three level fours on Team Shoemaker, and two level fives on Team uh, Course.
Interesting to see
Oh, wait.
that
No, it's
both.
three level fives.
Interesting to see that both hook based champions have full mastery in them. If they could definitely land those grabs on the right targets, and if they can identify when to do it, that might actually be a very pivotal. I can't speak. It could decide the game for them.
I'm curious to know if this was on purpose because it's possible that they both picked like Thresh and Blitzcrank, anticipating that the enemy team would pick champions like those that people might think are a bit worse, and like these people like obviously play Thresh and Blitzcrank quite a bit.
That would be interesting. We'll see how this all plays out in just a little bit. The game should be starting soon, hopefully. Looks like everyone's at 100%.
So Thresh has Thunderlord, so he's definitely going to be going for a burstier playstyle.
Yes, and that's rather interesting to see. So I've seen some Thresh take Thunderlords, and seen some take some other ones. So seeing them go more on the offensive side is always thrilling to see. Although it does appear to be a solo lane Thresh, which would uh, definitely make sense. I will be raising the volume just a little bit for everyone.
Okay, so wait, never mind. Thresh went back on his purchases. Looked like he was going to play a second support for a second there. Okay, Thresh is actually AP. Now, I've never seen AP Thresh before, um, never once. So I'm curious to see how good his scaling is.
Thresh's
And his
a
ratios.
Thresh's AP scaling does actually allow him to 100-0 someone, but he requires a very massive AP scaling to pull it off. Thresh vs Kha'Zix will be definitely a very interesting lane to see the least, to say the least.
I think Thresh is going to be able to harass Kha'Zix the first, for like the early game, but I think after that, Kha'Zix will definitely have um, uh, lane control, lane dominance, unless Thresh goes like tanky or AP.
So it looks like both junglers are starting bottom side. None of them pulling off anything too cheesy yet. It looks like Lee Sin is not choosing to invade Rumble and is also skipping his blue buff at the start. Other interesting pathing.
So I don't know what Lee's doing. Lee just backed off of Wolves.
So we see Swain versus Shen. From my experience, that lane favors Swain immensely. And we'll see if that does follow through. Looks like Blitzcrank is playing very aggressively. It looks like Caitlyn gets a massive damage and harass on Karthus. Blitzcrank taking a lot of damage. Blitzcrank does have his passive up, and they start the lane completely aggressive and really dominant. And I
Mm-hmm.
do apologize, I will be switching.
Lee took a very interesting, clear path here. Um, After the Wraith, he went straight for Scuttle Crab.
Oh, that's definitely interesting. I don't think that's necessary because I don't think Rumble's going to be ganking that early. So I don't think you need that vision. I think it'd be better to clear your other camps and get them out of the way.
Well, what I saw is that he was struggling to clear the wolf camp after the I keep calling it race. It's white camp.
The Gromp. Looks like Thresh
Yeah,
does first
whatever.
blood
Grump.
Kha'Zix, pulling him under a tower and successfully slaying him. Very well done on Thresh. Blitzcrank does grab Karthus. Will they get the kill on him? They won't, but they do get a massive amount of harass. And I do apologize for the scoreboards, everyone. They are organized properly. We here at FEK Events would like to remind you guys that we are absolutely flawless in how we do everything. We never are allowed to make mistakes at all. Once. Okay. So I do believe. So we see Rumble's level 4 and we see Lee Sin's level 2, and that could definitely play into why they may pick someone who is rather more difficult, such as Lee Sin, picking someone that people may be uncomfortable on, someone who is out of their, you know, what they're capable of. Oh, it looks like
Yeah.
Swain almost gets a kill, fails the never move, flashes for the kill, but still is unable to pull it off. Swain's flash being down 3-6 makes him rather vulnerable. They do get a really good, well done pull on Karthus. He has the blow heal, and Blitzcrank still has his passive up.
Swain still has his ignite, so he might still have some kill potential. Fights going on.
Looks like Shen
Swain.
canceled his auto attack. If Shen got that auto attack off, he might have been able to slay Swain right there. He canceled his
Swain
auto
will be
attack,
able to-
and Lee Sin is walking off.
Oh no, the minions are taking Swain down. Swain's at a sliver of health.
Bot lane, we see that Blitzcrank gets a kill on Karthus. However, Rumble comes in to pull a gank off and gets a kill on both Blitzcrank and Caitlyn, successfully turning that around.
Looks like a pretty even game so far.
It does look like a very
everywhere
even
besides,
game.
everywhere besides jungle. I feel like Rumble's a lot. Like Rumble has double the CS of Lee Sin.
Not only does he have the double CS, but he had very good intuition recognizing that Blitzcrank and Caitlyn were going highly aggressive bot lane. And so to take advantage of that, take advantage of the kill they got, and turn that into 2 for his team's favor, was very well done on his part. As far as CS advantage go, we see Swain has a massive CS advantage on Shen. However, we see, surprisingly enough, Thresh has a huge CS advantage over Kha'Zix.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where this mid lane goes because I don't think Kha'Zix is ever gonna reach a point where he's gonna be able to outduel Thresh at this rate.
Thresh actually has the most CS in the game. Mid lane Thresh appears to be a new meta.
And Thresh has a huge wave coming for him right now.
Looks like bot lane, after being ganked by Rumble, is choosing to feel a little more safe on their end. Caitlyn not even going for the harass on Karthus there. When he gets trapped, definitely playing more safe, fearing his jungle pressure. Although I do have to wonder, once Rumble shows himself, if they'll choose to go more aggressive off of that. Here we see Swain going on Shen, and he doesn't try to land a never move, but rather place it behind him so he can assure more harass. Definitely a solid tactic. We
So it
see.
looks like Lee Sin's being chunked by Swain, but Thresh comes to save the day.
Meanwhile, bot lane, definitely some strong trades going on. It'll be very curious. I'll be very curious to see who scales better in this match, Caitlyn or Karthus, who can use their capabilities better as the game progresses.
I'd say team Team Course
Yes.
has much more mixed damage than Team Shoemaker, so that's going to be working in Caitlyn's advantage because Team Shoemaker's probably going to want to build at least some MR for Thresh, assuming Thresh gets, fed, because he's looking pretty farmed right now.
I think that's fair enough. Thresh just has to make sure he's a threat, because if he's not a threat, they can build full armor, and that would
Yeah.
not be too great. Looks like Lee Sin is coming for them. They are trying to pull off a gank. Will Lee Sin be able to do it? He gets an
Oh.
ultimate off on Cho'Gath, lands his Q, goes to it. Cho'Gath eats Lee Sin in the process, though, and it becomes a 1-for-1, getting the feast off just in time.
Looks like Rumble's going bot lane.
I believe that would definitely
Looks
be in
like
Rumble's favor, but he better act quick, because Karthus is about to go down.
I don't think Rumble can... Oh, well,
Rumble
let's see.
gets off a well-timed ultimate.
Oh,
Karthus
Karthus.
ult coming out along with Rumble. Karthus gets a
Oh
double
my
kill, landing
God.
one on Shen as well. A surprise kill. Rumble going for the flash. Will he be able to do it? And he does successfully kill Caitlyn, getting a killing spree. Meanwhile, mid,
What's going on
Kha'Zix jumped onto Thresh, almost killed him, and flashed away. Kha'Zix using his own flash. And Rumble gets killed
How
by
did
the
Rumble go-
minions, getting shut down by Caitlyn. What a wonderful turn of events.
Oh my...
And Thresh makes the plays, and
Oh my-
even
and he's
shields
gonna live.
himself outside of Kha'Zix's Ignite, barely living. Both Ignites traded, Kha'Zix is flashed down. Thresh performing beautifully.
That was a really good hook. I'd say all of Thresh's hooks so far have been very skillful.
Thresh definitely a dark horse in this tournament.
I'm curious to see how he builds now, because he's only had a Doran's ring up until this point.
I wonder if he'll have to build a Rod of Ages would be my guess. A little bit of durability,
Yeah.
a little bit of... But Abyssal Scepter could also be understandable. Looks like he is going for a
Going
Rod of
her way.
Ages. I think I can expect to see a Rod of Ages Abyssal Scepter versus the enemy team. Thoughts on that?
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. That's very good for anti-AP because the bulky health plus the MR, and also like I think Abyssal is very good against AoE team comp. because
Looks
of how
like
its
they
passive
do
works.
pull off a successful kill on Caitlyn without anyone going down. Lee Sin ganking Swain. He misses his Q, however. Swain deciding he'd rather 1v2, flashing, igniting, and killing the Lee Sin ganking him, showing no fear. I have to wonder if Lee Sin landed his Q, even if he would have been able to take down the Swain. Kha'Zix trying to go aggressive. Thresh missing his flay. It's rather funny to see. It appears Cho'Gath is going to be building pure full support, which I think is definitely a fair thing to see. And with the Relic Shield, he's able to feast minions and give away the gold, which is definitely a funny interaction.
Mm-hmm. Seems like Rumble's just keeping a very generous lead against the enemy jungler.
Oh yes, and it
It's
appears
gonna be a huge threat.
that there is a new person in the CS lead. Swain has 3 more farms than Thresh. Looks, speaking of, a minor trade goes off mid, and Thresh actually comes ahead.
Rumble going for the counter jungle. Will Shen react? I don't think Shen actually knows that Rumble's counter jungling.
I don't think he's aware. Blitzcrank misses the hook on Karthus. That would have definitely been a for sure kill on Karthus otherwise, assuming he did not flash out.
Oh, Thresh is gonna get ganked right here. Rumble might ult. Lee Sin walking. No, Lee Sin's walking away.
Lee Sin missing his Q on the jungle camp, definitely showing that he's not so experienced on that champion, which is definitely a reason why you might want to pick someone and something in Nemesis draft. You know, picking someone who never plays Yasuo, you know, could definitely be in your favor just because they don't know how to use the champion, if they are a harder one. Looks like Swain is tower diving Shen. Shen's flash comes out, but it does not save him. Swain showing no mercy in the top lane.
Yeah, it looks like Team Shoemaker has a lot of powerhouses right now.
You know, I
A
did.
lot of AoE powerhouses.
You know, I did have to wonder if sending Swain top or Kha'Zix top would be better, and they decided to send Swain top versus the Shen. I do believe that was definitely the right choice.
I think the only issue here is that Team Shoemaker's Kha'Zix is not really getting fed, and
Looks-
he's their AD carry.
Looks like the red side team course is going aggressive there. It does go against their favor, however. The counter gank by a Shoemaker almost landing them kills, but not quite. Several summoners burnt. Karth is almost going down in the process, but managing to barely survive. Karth is going back. We'll see if he gets Rod of Ages. He does, in fact, get his Rod of Ages. Swain has his Rod of Ages.
Rumble might be able to dive this. No, he's not going to.
I don't believe he'll be able to pull that off, but without his
He's
ultimate
got
at the
quite a bit
very
of
least.
burst.
Rumble is sitting around deciding not to back, so we'll see if he does try to force something out of it.
There's no wards in that bush, so he might be able to go in on this. He also has flash, so if he can burst Caitlyn real quick.
The Cho knockup does go out. Rumble is taking advantage of it. He is coming in. Caitlyn does flash. He does not care. Still takes down Caitlyn. He decides to not go after the Blitz, realizing that's too risky of an investment, and does back off with a successful kill. Kha'Zix yet again trying to engage on the Thresh to no avail. Thresh returning a massive spike of damage with that Thunderlord's proc. Kha'Zix unable to find any sort of opening against Thresh.
Yeah, Thresh is keeping a steady lead in this mid lane.
Both in kills and in farm, rather impressive. The only thing, however, is that Thresh could get Rod of Ages, but he is waiting to keep a farm lead in exchange for Rod of Ages stacks, which is not the worst thing ever, considering it is still cost efficient at the moment you buy it.
Yeah, Thresh has 2k gold on him.
Looks like Swain's still going hyper aggressive into the second turret. Will that work out for him, though, when he gets 3-man ganked? Thresh roaming along with Lee Sin. They're all going on him. The Knight comes out. He does actually almost take down Thresh. The Shen ultimate barely comes out and saves him. They're all coordinating him. A second Ignite going on Swain.
Oh, wow.
Swain still gets 2 kills.
Wow.
2 Ignites used on Swain, and Swain still pulls off a 1v3 double kill before going down, completely exerting lane dominance. You know, I would have liked to see Kha'Zix here try to take mid tower as the lane roamed and pull something out of that. Instead, he roamed up top. I don't believe he's going to get anything out of that. I believe that was an incorrect roaming call, but that was still very well done on Swain's part.
You know, I think Team Course needs to to get some form of grievous wounds for Swain and maybe even Cho'Gath.
I believe that's definitely a fair evaluation. I believe an Executioner's Calling would not even be a terrible buy on, say, Caitlyn. Instead,
Yeah,
but the problem comes: do you go Mortal Reminder or do you go Lord Dominic's Regards versus that team? Because they both have their pros and cons.
Yeah, because that has a lot of very tanky, bulky team comp.
Yeah, so it's a pick your poison. You can go Mortal Reminder and lower Swain's healing, or you could go lower Dominic's Regards and not fall off in damage, but then you have to deal with that healing. So I think that trade-off's definitely hard.
Like
Kha'Zix and Thresh are going at it. Looks like they're going to actually do a sustained battle here. Will it actually result in a kill? Looks like it does not. However, Thresh does come out ahead yet again. Looks like the Shoemakers are going aggressive, or looking to. Caitlyn does have several traps to block off invaders coming from that side. Lee Sin does a flash kick into a Q on the Cho'Gath, deciding to try to pull him out.
Oh no.
Rumble coming in with an ultimate for the counter gank, pulling off a massive amount of kills. Swain also killing Shen, pulling a clean 4 kills going for the Shoemakers. Kha'Zix tried to turn it into an ace. Will that pan out for him? And it does not.
Oh, but the Karth Assault.
And a wonderful ace from Requiem coming out. And as we can see, under 17 minutes in the game, the Shoemakers have a massive 7,000 gold lead, which is an almost for sure victory with a 7,000 gold lead.
That it is. All the champions that needed to get fed are getting fed. They have a lot of AoE damage. Well, I mean, besides Kha'Zix. But at this point, I don't even know if it matters.
So they just got Dragon. They have almost a 10,000 gold lead. My question to you is there any hope of the Team Course being able to turtle up and to be able to hold off?
Well, with Thresh's scaling as an AP champion, I don't really know how much he can contribute. I'm interested to see, but I don't really see that much value in AP Thresh. It would really come down to how Kate performs, because everybody else is kind of just gonna have to be peeling her.
I agree. I think I can agree with that. They have to essentially make Kate a hyper carry against every single one of the Shoemakers cast members. Looks like Swain is getting ganked again. Will it be successful this time? They do successfully kick him and then hook him into a turret. And he is going to apparently not go down. Very close. He does still pull off a successful kill against Thresh nonetheless. Looks like they are sending more aid. Swain showing off just how much pressure a top laner can exert in a single match. Looks like Rumble is coming through and picking up a clean kill on Caitlyn as well, furthering their gold lead.
At this point, I think Team Shoemakers reaching that point where they're just stomping all over the other team, especially with their very assertive champion picks. Well, you know, the champions that they have.
We can definitely see a strategy coming along. We see Blitzcrank is in fact building Banner Command. We see Shen is in fact building a Xerath portal. We can definitely see what they were going for when they picked those picks, as they are going for the strategy we suggested in the past. However, with 36 farm on Shen in 19 minutes, and the rest of the team not doing too hot besides Thresh, unfortunately it appears that no matter how well the tactics done, even Lee Sin opting to build a Banner Command, even if your tactics may be well thought out, execution is a whole other story.
Yeah. They might just be a little bit too far behind. They just don't have enough gold to really get those items completed in time.
20 minutes in, and we could see the Shoemakers have a 12,000 nearly gold lead.
A mint? Am I reading this right? Why does it say, oh, never mind. Did not know that happened with Spectator.
I mentioned earlier that I was wondering who would pull ahead, who would scale better into the mid and mid-late game, Caitlyn versus Karthus. Well, we definitely got our answer. It's Karthus, and Karthus is definitely, when it gets down to who's fed, the more scary of the two. Says even when you kill him, he ain't quite done with you yet.
That is true.
We see Swain has transitioned to bot lane now, trying to pull attention over there as the rest of the team sieges mid. We see that the team is ready to go and assist and aid him, though, if they do want to push that side as well. The Shoemakers definitely know how to rotate and how to coordinate together. That's for sure.
I mean, really, it's all gonna come down to if Team Course can get some banners of command, because there's not a lot of ways that.
Well, with the tower dive coming out, even the Shen ultimate Stand United is not enough to save from just the massive spikes of damage coming in.
Oh, but
a really wonderful Blitzcrank does come off. Rumble is shut down. They're looking to dive and salvage it, but that only ends up in Kha'Zix dying as well. Swain looking to get something out of it, but his health's going down. Even he can't pull anything out of it, neither can Karthus. A clean 2 kills from the hooks of Team Course.
Well, if they're gonna come back, that's how they're gonna have to do it.
They are pulling another person. However, it's the Cho'Gath. They wanted to pull Karthus, and unfortunately, that just results in a fee stack for Blitzcrank, or from Blitzcrank rather.
The one thing that Team Shoemaker can't do is really push well. You know, they don't have a lot of sieging potential with the team comp like that.
That is definitely true and fair. It looks like they are going to pull Karthus. They do shut him down. Will he be able to get anything out of it? Looks like he's not building anything out of it. He doesn't have his ultimate up. Just over a minute left on Requiem.
I think what's going to end up having to happen is Team Shoemaker is just going to have to try and run over the other team, even over the turrets, because they're not going to be able to just push the turrets down.
I have to agree with that. So it comes down to if they can. They do get a very well done pick on Shen, however, bringing him down, turning a 4v5 into a 4v4. We'll see how both teams play this out from here on, though. So as we see right now, we do see Swain is split pushing one end, and the support Cho'Gath is split pushing another. I have to wonder if they're going to be well off picking people off, and if their split pushes will work out. Well, it does appear that with the kill on Thresh, that is working out quite in their favor already. Ooh, Swain almost landing the never move. If he were to get it, he would definitely be able to tower dive right then and there. He did bring 3 down to him, and with 1 down, they only have 1 to defend top. However, Blitzcrank is appearing to be able to hold him off. They almost pull off a pick off Kha'Zix, but not quite. He does retreat, however, he is unable to siege further.
Or Lee still has kick, so right here he might go for the kick. Oh, and he does.
He does pull it off. Rumble having to flash out and miraculously surviving. Karthus
Oh, wow.
absorbing the Caitlyn ult, taking almost no damage from it and taking her down with him.
I think this is about the one time where Team Shoemaker is just going to try and overpower the other team.
They don't have much of a choice other than to brute force it right here and now. So we see that Thresh actually went Rod of Ages into Xerath portal. So we see the strategy really coming together. Blitzcrank has a banner of command. Lee Sin has a banner of command, and we see 2 Xerath portals from Shen and Thresh. However, will the banner of commands and Xerath portals be enough to stop their push is the question. Do you think those have the potential to stop the siege and overbearing dives of Team Shoemaker? Thoughts?
I think it's very much a good strategy. So they already have 2 ZZ bots, 2 banners. I just don't know if it's going to be enough for the lead that Team Shoemaker has built up.
Well, they did just pull off a 2 for 3, so even with the 15,000 gold lead that the Shoemakers have, they still were not quite able to take down enough objectives to end the game off of. If Team Course can still
Rumble
keep...
might get caught up.
Rumble could get caught out, and if Team Course does keep this up, then they can use their Xerath portals and Banner of Commands to keep themselves in the run. Rumble does get caught out by a hook. Cho'Gath's Q does come out to try to save him, however the rupture is not enough and he does go down. Now the Shoemakers do have to be careful because every bit of shutdown golds is only going to help out Team Course just that much more. We see that Blitzcrank is very likely building another Yes, Blitzcrank did in fact finish Xerath portal. Team Course now has 3 Xerath portals and 2 banner commands, which
It is a lot. And I think they're going for what is Lee Sin going for? Spectre's Cowl.
Lee Sin appears to be going for a Banshee's Veil.
That would be a good choice against Karthus. If he's able to still keep it up in Karthus ults. I don't know if pulling in Swain was really the best decision.
Swain is restoring his health, appearing not to care about the burst enough as he is regenerating. Shen almost going down.
Shen being alive is important.
Oh yes.
However, Swain is almost back at full health now. Really is crazy how much he can regen.
Oh yes. If Swain lands just the right never move, then they might be able to go in and dive. However, a Xerath portal is getting him back. They do get a successful hook on Swain. Swain is ulting to try to stay alive. Swain does get ulted out. He almost gets bursted down, but not quite. He continues to regen. And they pull off 3 kills. 4 kills. Will this be the end of the game? We'll see. They take down the Xerath portal. Can they finish off Thresh? Swain almost going down from the slow. He does, in fact, go down from the box slow and the tower damage. The hook does, however, miss on Cho'Gath. Thresh looking to hold off the team on his own. scrambling about.
I don't think AP Thresh is enough, but we'll see.
I don't believe it's enough
All he needs to
either.
do is hold.
It was
He has to
definitely
hold till it kicks up.
it was definitely a valiant effort, but the 15,000 gold lead on Team Shoemaker appears to be sealing this out. All they have to do is take down Nexus right here and now, and it does appear that they will, in fact, be pulling this off.
Maybe not, though. There's still a
Maybe
chance.
not.
Although, it does seem like Team Course has not actually gotten one turret yet, so the chance of a comeback is very unlikely, but you never know.
Shen barely surviving with an inch of his life. Caitlyn does go down. Well, they do have an exposed Nexus, which means that is significantly harder to hold off with the Zero Puddles and Banner of Commands minions. Lee Sin, however, is he going to burst on out? If you're going to get caught out, he does in fact get caught out. The Banner Commands and the Zero Portals do lose effectiveness once you lose your Nexus towers, as they have very little to protect. We see that all three AP carries on the Shoemakers do in fact have Void Staffs completed, which does help against the massive amount of magic resistance on Team Course. It's also worth noting that Lee Sin has built no boot items and very little attack damage, going for a full tank peel and stall route over going something such as Maw and Starax, which could be potentially good against that team.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that Lee build completely.
I'm not sure if I do either. It does
Because
indicate what they're trying to pull off, however. Thresh does get picked off. If they're not careful, that could very well be the end of the game.
I feel like if he wanted to go for all those tank items, he should have went Cinderhole.
I have to agree with that. Swain pulls off a never move. He does in fact catch two, including Caitlyn. Caitlyn does in fact go down. With Thresh going down, this is very likely Red Team's downfall.
Looks like I really doubt Red Team is going to be able to come back from this.
I don't think they could come back from this either. However, Swain does get hooked under her Nexus Tower, and he still lives.
Swain is just tanking everything right now. They can't kill him.
They're going for the final push. And with this, the first win goes to the Shoemakers.